देश के अंदर कुछ लोग देश के माहौल को बिगाड़ना चाहते हैं, गजवाए हिंद की मानसिकता वाले।
See the scarf issue, it was all of a, because there is a loss of face of the BJP in the state. They feel that the entire Karavali belt will be rooted out of BJP, so they have created some situation.
Being in a secular country, really it's heartbreaking that I have to choose between my rights and my education. Really, it's too much, like it's like mental torture, like why I have to choose between my faith and my education.
Hello everyone, you're watching News Epicenter with me, Maria Shakil. The debate over wearing the hijab on campus has turned colleges across Karnataka into war zones. It started last month at the Government Girls PU College in Udupi when 6 students were barred from classes for insisting on wearing the hijab. Soon college after college came out with a similar diktat. When the girls objected, prompt came the retaliation. It was subtle at first, with groups of students marching to their college wearing saffron scarves. While they were allowed to enter the campus, their classmates, the young women in the hijab, stayed outside the gates protesting what they alleged was discrimination. But things took a violent turn today. In Shivamogga, hundreds of students wore saffron scarves to protest the hijab row and cheered on another student who climbed up a flagpole and hoisted a saffron flag. Saffron-clad agitators demanded that the hijab be banned in colleges, while Muslim students stood their ground. Face-offs between the opposing groups led to stone pelting in campuses, and police resorted to lathi charging them. At a college in Mandya, and this is perhaps the most disturbing part of these protests, a Muslim girl was surrounded by a large number of saffron scarf wearing boys. They bullied and heckled her and shouted slogans of Jai Shri Ram. She shouted Allahu Akbar to counter them. In this tense backdrop, the Karnataka High Court is hearing petitions questioning the ban on hijab in several government colleges. The hearing will continue tomorrow, but all schools and colleges will be shut for the next 3 days amidst this controversy. And while education is held to ransom, we are asking a basic question. Should the decision to wear hijab on campus be left to the woman herself? While people call the hijab a symbol of regression or patriarchy, can it be grounds enough to exclude young women from accessing their schools merely on account of them wearing the hijab? Joining me on the show, Dr. Drzina Shakti is the Director General of Wisdom Foundation. Fatima Usman is student activist. Amrutesh NP is an advocate. We are also being joined by Saida Shagufta Kausar. She is the pro-hijab activist, and Dr. Geeta Bhatt, who is an academician. Dr. Bhatt, how does wearing of a headscarf offend equality, integrity or public order as the vague notification of the Karnataka government talks about? If anything, this is disturbing law and order.
Well, Maria, thanks for having me on your show. You see, as you were just mentioning that about 1.5 months, this all started when six girls, they protested that they wanted to cover their face while going to the school. Now, what they said was that because there are male teachers who come and teach them in the class, that is why they want to protect their face. Now, this I find that this itself is very disturbing. The kind of this mindset, the kind of environment, where there is so much of mistrust in those who are teaching them, those who are kind of their gurus going to a school. This itself, rather than this becoming and blowing into such a controversy, this could, there should have been a counseling for them, trying to make them and give them assurance that, don't have such a mistrust on people. But it is very unfortunate that this kind of a mindset, it seems, is present in a large number of girls who come from the
Geeta, but
community. Because then
this
after
hasn't
that, you know, a
started
large
few
number of
weeks
girls
ago.
have started.
Girls wearing hijab is something that we have seen in several parts of India for years now. I
Right.
think that is Fatima Usman, who is the student activist, joining me as well. Fatima, I've been speaking to certain pro-hijab activists, and they seem to suggest that, okay, so we'll try and connect with Fatima in just a bit. But Dr. Drzina Shakti, while we look at various arguments around hijab, a section saying that this is regressive, patriarchal, don't you think that this entire argument should rather be about education? That girls here who have taken that courage to come out of their homes for education should be encouraged rather than heckled. The reason why I'm saying is some very, very disturbing statistics with regards to Muslim community, where it, you know, where their academic marginalization is very evident, and their participation in education is also very low.
Thank you for having me on your show, Maria. See, the whole point of this argument is that no one is stopping anyone from entering the school or entering the class. But to say that, you know, we are going to have the religiosity that is going behind this is saying that, you know, this is the way we would like to dress, and this is the only way in which we can sit in the class. I think that can be, you know, taken, objectionably by other communities, because they will say that, you know, if you have your religiosity of this kind of covering, and if you feel that the males are disturbing you, the male teachers, then you go to another school or you go to another institution which does not have these males and where your hijab will be permitted. But in government institutions, which are very clear that there is a uniform now, Islam tells you that you hide your private parts, that you have to dress in perfect decency and with chastity and with modesty. And there is no definition any further given to what a dress should be. So in different climates, in different places, you have people wearing different kinds of clothes. So and there is no objection to that. But where you can dress as you wish to the marketplace, in your home, when you travel, in wherever you may be.
Fatima,
but when you are coming to an institution,
if there is an institution and an institution has a dress code, what is wrong in girls following it?
No, if there's a dress code, then it must be uniform.
Yes.
It has to be a uniform.
Yes.
It cannot be an up and down.
Okay, fine enough. Fatima, respond to that. What is wrong in girls wearing a uniform?
Nothing is wrong with girls wearing a uniform, but a girl wearing a uniform which is different from others.
Dr. Drzina Shakti, that's a question to the activist, please. Let her answer that. Yes, go ahead, Fatima. Fatima, if you can hear me. Okay. That is in fact Saida Kausar. Saida, you know, this entire argument that is being built repeatedly, that if it is about an educational institution everywhere has its rules and regulation, then why not follow the rules and regulation of an institution rather than insisting on the headgear or the hijab or a burqa?
Thank you, Maria, for adding me. We in India, we have our own constitution and every person has his own rights as per the constitution. We, the Muslim girls, also have constitutional rights to wear our hijabs. And as per Islam, any girl must wear hijab when she is grown up. According to the girl who are going to do the college, we are also wearing a hijab and getting to education. And this is going on from thousands of years. Why now? Anything is necessarily hurdling to cause them stopping the education. We should serve a nation.
Okay, Saida, tell me, when did you start wearing the burqa the way you are wearing it, covering the complete face, only the eyes are showing you?
Complete face. I started from 7th standard, 7th, 8th. I started like that.
And you are of the opinion, that what the girls are doing is right? Are you saying that?
The girls, they should, if it is their religion, they should follow. And they should serve nation. Somebody are becoming police, IAS by serving. If we are stopping, if you are wearing a hijab, if you are stopping education, we are stopping all their goals, achievements. How should they come from their from their heart they should serve their nations. If we do, you are wearing, you should not study, how you can stop the education?
Yes. Amritesh, the question here also becomes about right to education and multiple rights that have been guaranteed through several articles, Article 14, 21 of the Indian Constitution. When you stop girls at the gates of institution where they have come for education, isn't that really the biggest problem here? Just look at the visuals that are emerging. It's disturbing, to say the least, to say that the girls are being heckled only because they're wearing a burqa. Amritesh, if you can hear me.
Connection cut. Yes, yes. Now I am hearing you.
Yes, please respond to that. Amritesh, my question.
Here the situation
Yes.
with regard to
Go ahead.
yes, I'll answer. The situation in Karnataka in respect of the education and the campus, it is a very disturbing, and also, you know, this was not this is
Maria, can I come in?
Yes, there seems to be some problem with that connection. I will ask my producer to fix that line. But Geeta Bhatt, the Supreme Court in multiple judgments has held that students do not shed their constitutional right of freedom of speech and expression at the schoolhouse gate. Although there are other judgments also, the one we have seen with regards to what the Kerala High Court has said as well. While we look at, you know, that in fact Kerala High Court has been very clear about what it said in the with regards to whether the girls should be allowed to not wear uniform but continue with their hijab or a burqa. They have been also very clear that insisting that this is about fundamental right to establish, manage and administer an institution which is under Article 19. But how is reaction to the way the girls are dressing up and coming to the institution justified?
Maria, you see, one example I would like to give here, and that is of the Muslim Education Society. It is a huge society based out of Kerala, and they have more than 100 institutions, professional colleges, schools, not only in India but abroad also. In 2019, they banned all type of hijabs, veils on their campuses. And Mr. Ghafoor, who is the president of the society, had said at that time that we believe in empowerment of women through education, through their employment, and covering the veil is something which is not related to Islam, and it is rather anti-woman. So these are also some of the expressions by some other scholars also who have said that covering of the face or of the veil is actually a part of the Arab culture. It is not a part of Indian culture, and at least 2 centuries back, there were hardly any women who used to cover their face or their body to come to college campuses, Muslim women. But yes, in the last, ever since, in southern India, many people, they started going to the Saudi Arabia and, to the Middle East to work. They kind of, brought this culture, and then we have been seeing that women have started. Now, of course, it's an individual woman's choice whether she wants to wear. In universities, no one has any objection whether you are wearing skirts or are you wearing hijabs, or you come covered from top to bottom.
Fatima, the argument here is that if anything, that this is more of an Arabization of Islam in India, which is not the Islam that was practiced here. And if anything, if you are entering an educational institution with a headgear or a burqa, you are only segregating yourself from the larger classroom. And the purpose of education in a classroom is that everybody should have a level playing field. Okay, Fatima, if you can hear me.
Is that question for me?
Fatima, if you can hear me.
Am I audible? Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are loud and clear. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Yes. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that an educational institution where the girls go to the purpose of education is assimilation, that you should be part of the larger ethos, that you should not be segregated on the basis of your appearance, then don't you think that that this Arabization of Islam in India is also turning out to be a problem?
Actually, I didn't get the questions because it was not clear.
Okay, Saida, take that question, please.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Saida.
Hello.
Yes.
It is not in a culture we are following urbanization like that. We are following from our parents to parents, and we are from fulfilling that our needs by going out, anything buying, we won't see anything. We are proud to having a hijab, and in country they should be treated equally. We are equal citizen. We should be respected. For their religion requires all their religion symbols. As that, we should also respect the accordingly same for their symbols, their faith. We should not hurt anybody's faith. We should see focus on education, how the people, how the poverty, we should come from that things, not by wearing hijab. We should stopping the education. We are coming out by educating our children. Each and everything, we are in high levels, doctors, lawyers, each and everybody are now in our Muslims, ladies, all are coming out by helping.
Amritesh, why this denying of education to Muslim girls?
No, we are not denying. It's only thing, the ground reality is that whatever the academicians, whatever they have said, all these things you have to think one small thing is that ground reality you have to understand. Within the premises, what are the rules and regulations in the school authority, what they have implemented, everyone has to be implemented. Everyone has to go as per the rules and regulations of the education institution. This is a common thing. When you go for a Hindu temple, you have to leave your chappals and shoe outside. That is the principle. Like that also, in churches, it is allowed. Like that, we have to think on the different
but how can you how can you compare places of worship with educational institutions?
Yes, every institution has got their own rules and regulations. Even the government has supported. Recently, government has given the circular. Each and everyone has to use the uniform. Uniform is Uniform is a one. It goes to give a small thing is that everyone is equal.
But if the government is if the government is supporting an order, doesn't mean that it is the right order. What about a woman's choice? Forget about regressive, forget about whether it is patriarchal. It's about a woman's choice. If a woman wants to wear a hijab to an institution, then what? And it has not been stopped for so many years.
1 minute.
This has been going on for years.
I will answer to you. I will answer to you. I will answer to you. Please allow me. All the women are raising their voice for right to equality. Even the men and women has to be treated in the equal position. Why not here?
Right to equality and right to uniformity is not the same. Here the government wants everybody to be uniform.
That is why
it's not the same.
Yes, that is why the rules and regulations
of
Saida,
respond to that.
It is entirely different.
Saida, respond.
Now, here also, 1 minute. 1 minute, I will answer to you. 1 minute, I will answer to you. Where the now Saida is that pro-activist for the hijab, from which place she is zooming and talking up from that, it is well tutored by some of the organizations. Even till today, no one has come forward to give in a public meeting. It is well tutored by some of the organizations wanted to disturb the whole society. This is
Saida, this is the charge that is coming from several quarters, including the government, which says that you, Fatima, all of you are pawns in the hands of PFI, and this is an effort or an attempt to disturb public order.
No, it is not at all
The
nothing. We
whole
are
system,
speaking from our
society is
own-
disturbed by
our
these type
own
of
thinking.
tutored persons.
Why
That is the
anybody
PFI.
can say anything? It
STPI
is
is
our
also
own
backed
thinking.
by this.
Why we should not give anything point about our own thinkings? Why you can say anything that we are holding, anybody are treating us, anybody are telling and giving something like that? It is not. Why we don't have anything to speak ourselves? What we want, what we are. We can't speak anything as you are saying. We have all rights.
Amritesh,
Only
these are girls
you-
perhaps who
you
know their
should-
rights as well. I mean, move away from all the arguments. You can say this is regressive, you can say this is patriarchal, but the question is about the woman's agency as well here. Come in, Fatima.
Nothing.
The head,
Here
the
there is
headscarf,
no women agency.
the headscarf
Both-
that you are
both-
wearing,
both
the
have to be
headgear,
treated
or
equally.
the burqa
Both
that we
have
are
to be
seeing
treated
Saida
equally.
wear.
Saida ji,
Don't you
aap
think
kidhar
that this
baitha
only
hai?
leads to further
Saida ji,
segregation within the classroom? You will be identified as a particular set of people who are associated with a particular religion. The purpose
It's
of
not-
education is that everybody should be seen as equal. When you enter an educational institution, it is about that quest for knowledge. Why make your appearance
we
such a
should
big
know-
issue? Why have religiosity on your sleeves?
I think we should know we are living in the country where we have the rights to practice our religion. Regardless our caste and religion. How come if I am representing as an hijabi in the classrooms, why can't I allow in the class? And why it should be an bothersome for the people who are against this? Why it is like that? Why do you think that we are specifically, we want to identify as an hijabi? Because we do have the rights to represent ourselves as an those who practice their belief according to our constitution. We have to, we can practice our essential practice anywhere in the country. This is the constitution that provides us the right, and we are following it. But how come these practices and the following rituals bother to the people who are against the who are particularly against the one community, and it is not bother for them to see those people who wear in Hindu or some their cultural, who follow their culture.
Okay.
It is not bothersome.
Okay. Fatima, the question here is, if your wearing of hijab or a particular appearance is leading to the kind of reaction that we are seeing, then the education in itself is becoming the casualty here. Educational institutions are now
last
shut
30
in
years.
Karnataka
As you
for the
all
next
know,
3 days.
Still we are not going
Fatima.
to understand. And,
In
we are
Karnataka, what's
in the-
happening is the particular community is being targeted for the following their rights. And you know, in the present Karnataka, what's happening is that those boys who are entering the campus with saffron shawls and chanting Jai Shri Ram are not bothersome to you guys, because it is their right to follow. It is right. The education is essential for us, as well as a hijab is also essential, and it is must for us. You know.
If you have to choose between hijab and education,
Why there is an option between hijab and education? Hijab is important too, and the fundamental right is to get my education, and also the same constitution gives me a rights to follow the beliefs, right? Why are they giving the options to follow something like hijab over education, or education over hijab? I have to choose both because I represent as a hijabi, and I want to get education with hijabs too. This is my right, and I'm going to.
but that right can also be at loggerheads what we are seeing with educational institutions. Educational institutions want you to wear uniform.
we are wearing a uniform. We are wearing a uniform, but the veil which the uniform has, we are putting into the head. What is the problem in that? We are following the uniformity. Who are the people that saying that we are not following the uniformity? Just because we wear hijab, we wear headscarf, doesn't mean that we are not following the uniformity, right? The uniformity is to maintain the identity and unity in diversity that we are following since the college days. But all of a sudden, why it is became an issue? Because the controversy behind this, the BJP government is doing that the Muslim community students or the minority students should not come up with the education or shouldn't get the education. This is the conspiracy.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts, Fatima, Dr. Drzina Shakti Ali, Amritesh, Saida, and Dr. Geeta Bhatt. Thank you so much. The first word in Quran is Iqra, which means read or to seek knowledge. The question is, why should the girls be prevented from seeking knowledge? Shouldn't they be encouraged? And is it only about their appearance? Let that be settled perhaps by the court. We have seen several judgments come in the past. But girls need education, they should be encouraged. That's all from me. Thanks so much for watching.